Things happen to us throughout our lives that hurt us, and they affect us, and they shape our life. My journey began as a child with a dad that really didn't talk to me unless he was yelling at me. Usually it was for things like spilling the milk or not getting the door shut right, and he would cuss, scream, turn bright red, and stomp his feet. And then if I started crying, he would get even louder and worse. So of course, I stuffed my emotions and I became hypersensitive to how people reacted around me, and I wanted to be sure nobody got mad. This was so bad that when I started kindergarten, I didn't talk for 6 months in fear that other people might get upset with me like my father did. So the next stop in my journey was junior high and high school. Now, of course, we all get bullied and made fun of a little bit. Mine was just a little extreme. It was a little bit over the top. And kids made fun of me. They were criticizing me, rejecting me, and I took it all very personal. And I started trying to change myself so I could fit in. I sort of lost my identity and started having some dysfunctional thought processes, and I got into some addictive behaviors. I was perfectly set up for what happened next. I was 17 and I met a guy that was 29 years old. He told me I was beautiful, asked me out on a date, then he told me he loved me, and for the next 2 years, he molested me. He was a predator. Now, I willingly partaked in this because I was so desperate for love and affection, but he hijacked my life and my identity was totally gone. Later in my life, I met a man that I thought was perfect, and we got married. And he vowed before God that he would love me no matter what. Well, he should have probably said he'd abuse me no matter what, too. And I say too because he did love me in his own dysfunctional way, and that's the reason I stayed in the relationship, because of the love he showed me. But I was in an abusive marriage for 6.5 years. When I finally left that marriage, I had to go to counseling for 3 years, twice a week. I got back to the shell of a person I was prior to that dysfunctional relationship. And I say the shell of a person because I was a broken person before that period of time, or else I would have never been in a relationship like that. I examined myself and I said, what is going on here? I don't even know who I am, and why would I have allowed some of the treatment that I have had in my life? And I decided to dig deeper and go back in time and say, let's figure out what went wrong here. And I did the work, and after 5 years, I was able to find my true self, my true identity. So this workbook is a roadmap of what I went through on that journey. It'll provide you resources and knowledge that will help you recognize abuse, process emotions, set boundaries, and find your true identity and your true values. It's best used in a group setting. You can do it one-on-one, you can do it by yourself, but doing it in a group provides an extra level of healing. I can say for myself, when I did a group, it helped me and catapulted me in my healing journey. Now, one-on-one counseling is great, and it is proven that one-on-one counseling and group therapy is equally as effective. I believe groups are better because they provide similar people with similar backgrounds and problems. You can support each other and help each other grow, and you have a safe place to share stories. Now, when you're in a group, we have something called a group agreement, and it provides a safe environment for you to share and communicate effectively. You can share confidential information without worrying. And you will be sharing your story, because sharing your story makes you heal. Sharing your story is crucial, because if you don't share your story, you can't bring out into the light everything, like the fear, the anger, the sadness. And when you bring that into the light, you can actually conquer it. Trauma victims that don't share their story actually get worse. So it's imperative that you own your story, because you get to write the ending. I know that you will get better doing this workbook, but it doesn't happen overnight. It is a journey. Every day, though, you get better, little by little. I can tell you this, and I want you to always remember, this is just one chapter in the book of your life. This is just one item. You can write the rest of the book. I can't wait to see the next chapter in your life. It's going to be amazing.